Chris, how do you go about I suppose, building relationships in the work that you do? I suppose not so much like what do you think important, because obviously that you're consistently delivering at that level. Like, what are the tactics? What are the strategies that you use to make sure that you're consistently achieving on your targets?
I love games. I love winning games. Basically, anything within sales that I find a challenge, I see a fun way to find a solution for it. So just as you've built your business literally from when I knew, from one staff to how many staff do you have now?
17.
Wow.
It's no employee shop, but it keeps me occupied.
So just that in itself in the financial planning industry is really, really impressive. But also in this marketplace, COVID, you've had FISIA, so ethics exams in Australia. But how has sales changed? So I know that you're an active contributor to the sales ideology, and so am I. And basically the habits, what I do every day is I focus every day on setting goals for the day, setting a greater goal for the year, quarter, or other time frame. And then I dedicate time every day to physically do an activity that's going to get me closer towards those goals. So all that means is I spend an hour every day practicing the art of sales, and I spend an hour every day practicing the art of prospecting, and I spend an hour every day practicing the art of closing. And then from money management, I spend an hour every week practicing the art of building wealth. So for me, it's a disciplined habit where I bring focus and attention towards the discipline I want to improve upon. And I've never, ever had an issue with pipeline, generating new clients, generating referrals on the back end of those clients. I've never had a pipeline issue, ever. And let's just say, I'll go back to last week. So we're in lockdown in Sydney, obviously, yeah, so you know that. We're in lockdown. 2 weeks ago, the Sunday before it was officially the lockdown, I had 0 meetings in the diary. So actually there was one. There was one meeting in the diary. I'm used to walking into a week with at least 15 to 20. So 2 things happened there. I left it way too late in the week to build out my next week. That's the first fundamental problem. But second challenge was a lot of people cancel their meetings due to wanting to put attention on surviving, right? Small businesses, next week's going to be painful for everyone potentially. So instead of me walking in on a Monday morning reactively having to deal with a pipeline issue, I sacrificed my day with my family and my kids to ensure that on the Sunday I built out my week so that I ended up sitting 20 meetings and getting 8 new clients that week from a blank, empty diary. Now, that sacrifice on the Sunday was my own fault, because I hadn't established the right routine in that situation to deal with COVID easily. So yes, it's COVID. Yes, it's a stand down. So I could use that as an excuse, but I didn't. Instead, I'm working on a Sunday. I would rather be with the kids, but making that sacrifice so that doesn't dent on the performance.
Yeah, I think that consistency is key, and also the fact is that whether it's sales, building your pipeline, or closing your pipeline, or pushing people forward, or things like your wealth building, and or it could you could transfer it across to health or relationships, or all of these things that are important but easy to not do. You can not do it for the next hour or the next day, and nothing will happen on that day, but then consistently not do it and ignore it for a period of time, and you see then you end up with the empty calendar or the empty bank balance or the upset partner or whatever it is. So the other part of it is, I think that everything is changing so quickly as well, that whether it's your sales techniques or your wealth building strategies or your fitness stuff as well, that you need to continually sort of evolve what you're doing in line with the changing market, the COVID situation, the financial markets, all of those things, so that what you're doing remains consistent. Because I think that people and it's probably some sort of media's fault or something, that it's like this, people think they can do a bit of work and then it's like a set and forget strategy or approach that is going to just work for them forever. But unfortunately, with the world we live in, it's just not